welcome to yet another edition of the Economic Briefcase here on Cabinet TV. Cabinet TV, not just another channel. I'm your host today, MWANSA, with my guest in the studio, Mr. Joseph MWANSA, the president of the Small Scale Miners Association. Before we go into the nitty-gritties of our program, let's look at the market update. Let's look at what's happening on the financial markets and the money markets as of today, the 8th of June 2023. So Dr. Habazoka is not here today with us. He's attending to other national duties, but nevertheless the show has to go on. So today in the studio we have the president of the Federation of Small Scale Miners Association of Zambia, Apex, Mr. Joseph MWANSA.
Thank you. Good.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good evening and good evening, viewers.
So today we're talking about small scale mining in Zambia. We've had you here before. I don't know if you would want to introduce yourself, but I'm sure our viewers already know who you are. By now, this is the second time we're having you.
My name is Joseph MWANSA Kabuswe. I'm the president of Federation of Small Scale Miners. Federation of Small Scale Miners, it's an umbrella body of all the associations that are in Zambia. Most of the associations are affiliated to us. We are about 16 associations which are affiliated to us, and we are the mother body.
Okay, so just an overview of small-scale mining. Maybe for those who don't know, we have mining at a large scale, then we have our small-scale miners. How would you explain the overview of the mining sector in Zambia, starting from the small-scale miners and large-scale mining and so on?
We have three categories: large-scale miners and small-scale miners and artisanal.
Okay. What is the landscape of the mining sector, especially for the small-scale miners right now? Because I think that's the overlooked stage or component of the three that you've mentioned. Of course, we're always focusing on KCM, Mopani, and all these, but we know that there's so much potential if we had to harness what small-scale miners can bring or can contribute to the economy.
When you look at the three categories, large small-scale miners are big guys, and small-scale miners, that's where you find the Grizzly, Kajam. Those are small-scale miners. And artisanal miners, initially it was initiated that it should help the rural areas to reduce poverty and to also encourage those who are illegal miners to change into business men and women. And it was also initiated that it can be used as a tool to create jobs or giving an opportunity for those who are not working, at least to have some mines and later on create some job opportunities to those who would want to work for small-scale miners or artisanal miners. So artisanal miners, initially from beginning, it was initiated that it should help the rural areas and the local miners to engage in mining.
So these three categories that we've mentioned, I think today we're just going to focus on these two, artisanal and small-scale miners. What contribution can these bring, or what needs to be done for small-scale miners, artisanal miners, at least to enable them to contribute to national economic development? What is the government doing, or what do you recommend that they could do so as to let these two categories, artisanal miners and small-scale miners, to be part of this vast economic development?
The two categories that I mentioned, small-scale miners and the artisanal miners, they are the tools that they can use now to create jobs, indirect and direct. At the moment, as you know, our country we need to begin to create an opportunity for our people to find some jobs in this sector. I think there are about more than 500 mines or 700 mines which have been approved by the Ministry of Mines. And if these mines were to work, they will create some opportunity to Zambians, and Zambians would find an opportunity to be employed and will reduce unemployment. At the same time, these mines will be bringing some forex in the country, and we will begin to see some mines contributing to our economy, and before long we'll begin to see our economy growing. So at the moment, off from agriculture, which has been a major key of contributing to our treasury, I think mining industry, in terms of small-scale mining and the small-scale miners and the artisanal, these are the vehicles which can be used now to boost our economy, because we are improving, even though we are not doing much, but we can use small-scale miners and the artisanal to improve our economy. That's what we have as of now. And the government, they have to begin to invest in this sector and help the small-scale miners to begin to buy some, I think, instruments, which is the major problem as of now. Most of the small-scale miners or artisanal miners, they don't have enough or adequately tools to use, which they can use to bring the production to the level that they can export and bring some forex in the country.
Okay, so you mentioned some of those challenges that small-scale miners face, especially when it comes to equipment, mining equipment, maybe funding to some level. But what other programs that the government has put up, either in the past or in the recent years, to see that this industry grows?
At the moment, I haven't seen any program that has been created by government to help the small-scale miners or to boost their capacity to do their mining activities. I haven't heard anything from the government through the Ministry of Mines, who are our partners. Maybe there is that program which I don't know. Of course, I heard the Ministry of Mines, they have bought some machinery in terms of helping those who are in gold panning. I'm told they have ordered or they have bought those machinery which they would like to begin to give the artisanal miners or cooperatives, which the president also have been encouraging that Zambians should begin to form some cooperatives and from there maybe they would see how they can help the cooperatives. At the moment, I feel I need to be corrected. I heard the minister talking about some of the equipment which they have bought to help the cooperatives and some few artisanal, especially those who are in gold mining. But I haven't heard anything in terms of helping the small-scale miners, which, if it comes to small-scale miners, you need excavators, dumper trucks, and the bulldozer. So I've not heard if there is any program for that. But about the cooperatives, yes, there is program, and we congratulate the government to come up with that initiative. It will help, especially for cooperatives. Cooperatives are tools that will be used in rural areas also to help the communities and local people to get something out of what we have in the ground.
So for the market, let's talk about the market, because I know it's one thing that these guys are able to come to go into mining, and it's one thing finding the market. And most of our artisanal miners, their market is right here in Zambia, and their minerals are bought by I don't know if I can call them middlemen, and there's, for a fact, I know there's this thing going on that the price is basically curtailed by these middle companies that sell to these other foreign companies. How is the overview market, our local market, or the market for these artisanal miners?
I would say that there are two categories in terms of marketing. There are those who are mining manganese and copper. When it comes to manganese and copper, yes, there is a cartel. Cartel in the sense that the people who give the prices are the buyer, foreign buyers. Now, how are they manipulating? They are the one who gauge or who tell the percentage that is in manganese or copper. So when you take the material to them or minerals to them, they will tell you the percentage that is there, and they will pay based on the percentage that they will tell the seller. And these people, they have almost uniform price. They have already organized themselves. They have one language. Even if you were to change one bar to another, you still experience the same behavior and same attitude when it comes to sell them. So they're kind of people who have one system, well organized, have one language, uniform language. So they manipulate the Zambians in terms of the percentage that they give, and most of the time the percentage that they give is not a real percent. So I think as a Federation of Small-Scale Miners, our advice to the government is that they should come up with the smelter. They should be the one who should be given the percentage. Then once you get the percentage, the actual percentage that is in copper or manganese, then you can take the material to the market with the certificate which shows that this is a percentage. If that can happen, then we will eschew many people from being manipulated. Otherwise, as it is now, we are being manipulated, and they know that once they refuse, there is nowhere where one can go and sell. And this has become a major problem when it comes to market. Now, when it comes to gemstone, it's much easier. It's a production that you produce. It will give itself the price. And most of the time, you will negotiate with the buyer until you arrive at a price. That's how it is in gemstone. But again, we have an idea, which I think when I met the Minister of Mine, I unveiled the plans that we have. What we said is that we should be having we should come up with an exhibition which should be taking place every year in our country. We can call our neighboring country our neighboring country, from SADC, even from other countries, to come and exhibit in Zambia. And we can also organize some buyers from different countries who should come and buy the merchandise that we are mining in Zambia. If we can come up with that initiative, which the exhibition should be happening every year once, then people find where to sell the merchandise.
Why can't the association or the federation actually come up with that, maybe a forum, a mining forum, right here in Zambia, and find sponsors and sell this sector?
Yeah, that's what I think we are still consulting how we can come up with the exhibition or Expo, but Expo, it has to be combined with maybe agriculture, and there are certain serious buyers who cannot come to Expo. But the serious buyers, they would like to come to something like an exhibition, because that's where you can see big buyers coming to buy the merchandise or product that you are producing in your country or in our country. We have that idea, and we are still consulting, and would like to engage the Ministry of Mines to help us, or engage a private company from overseas whom we can partner with and come up with the marketing strategy. Of course, the government, they have talked about the market center for gemstone, which is a good idea, but we'll wait to hear from the government and how it works. So we are still thinking and planning how we can come up with one marketplace which will help our local people and all those who are in mining. It will become easy when you have a marketplace where they can sell. Before we had there was a program by EU where they were taking some Zambian miners to overseas to go and exhibit in different countries like Tucson and Bangkok, and many people, they benefited in terms of getting good buyers from these overseas buyers who, after you come back, you begin to correspond with them and they would buy some merchandise. That program, it was good, and I feel if that program can come back again, maybe we can see also some other people who are willing to go and sell overseas begin to go. As Zambian Gemstone Integrated Trade Association, we do exhibit in international market like Tucson, Bangkok, and Welcome. That program is still there. We are still traveling from these countries, and it's open to each and every Zambian. If they can contact us, we can tell them exactly what we are doing. And ZDA, they have also the program for market, especially international market. They are doing that. Maybe what is lacking is information, which we need to give as many medias to spread the information. And that information, I believe, it will help many Zambians.
So, Mr. MWANSA, as an association, the Federation of Small-Scale Miners, does the government consult or include you in policy formalization when it comes to the mining sector, whether small-scale, large-scale, artisanal? Are you consulted? Are you a stakeholder when it comes to policy making?
Yeah, I would like to thank the government of today. I've been in this business for 39 years. 39 years. We have seen some openness and a bit of transparency from the present government. The Ministry of Mines have been engaging us in many programs and consultation, even when they came up with the mining rights which they want to soon, I think it will become a law. They sent a copy and went through, and we also wrote something that we thought it should be fusing I would say that the present government, in terms of collaboration with the Federation of Small-Scale Miners, they are doing very fine. And we recommend them to continue to do that. And another thing that I've liked about the way they are approaching the industry and engaging the organization is that the Minister of Mines, Mr. Kabuswe, I can point out two things that I've seen which is good. Of course, I do not know these other things, but I can only pick what I think I know, and I feel this is good. Number one is that he has been so open to us. He would call us or we would go to him and sit down, explain one or two things that we would like to see. And there are times that you would say, write your concept and bring it back to us. So that collaboration, I think it is helping us. And today we have the new PS. I met him when we were observing the election of women in mining. We had a chat about maybe 10 minutes. Just upon listening from what I was explaining, he told me, okay, we can meet and have a small interview and see the way forward. Then, unfortunately, they had some engagement in Wapula. For the first time, to see a PS would apologize to say, we will not have the meeting next week. We have some engagement. Can we change? Most of the PS, they don't even phone you. You would just hear that they were in Wapula, they were at this place. But the present PS, I think the way he has started, I would like to believe that we are going to work well with him as long as it does not change on the way. The beginning, I think, is good. So at the moment, the government are engaging us, and we are happy as Federation and would like to recommend them. They should continue to do so.
Illegal miners. There's a clip that I was watching, I think it's circulating on social media. That should be Northern Province. I think that should be Northern Province. It's in Mpika, where a group of people mining gold. I know there's a lot of illegal mining going on, and how can this be curbed? And also, can you explain how these people can get into mining legally, where from registration to the point where they start their mining and subsequently find a market or sell the product?
I think we have talked about illegal mining time and again, and I would like to state that illegal miners are Zambian people. These are people who are found in different provinces, and these are the people who discover minerals. Now, because of the timing, they feel they cannot wait when they see the minerals. The moment they see the minerals, they begin to mine because they want to get some money and support their families. At the same time, it's against the law. Now, it's a policy which is encouraging the illegal mining. I'll go back again to artisanal. Artisanal mining was initiated and established to help the local people and to reduce poverty in the rural areas. It was specifically for Zambian people, to help people to become small business men and women who are in mining. It's a great program, and whoever came up with that initiative, I appreciate his thinking.
Well, now there are foreigners mining as artisanal miners. We see the Chinese, the Indians.
I'll come to that. Yeah, it's complex. It's very complex. So, as I said earlier on that, it was specifically for Zambian. Now, what happened is that Zambians are failing to get the license because of the condition. It's not that they would love to continue, just to be called illegal miners, but the condition that have been imposed, I use the word imposed, on them, it's not conducive It's hostile. Why? Because of the charges which are there. These people, they can't manage. And we have said this time and again, I don't know why the authority, they can't hear and come up with something that is easy to help the people. Number one, I've said it before. Here is a person who's struggling to buy 2 bags of fertilizer, find some in-laws, like it happened in Mpika, find some in-laws in Eastfield. Would this person wait, or would this person begin to look for a license when he knows that I can't manage to get the license? The process, of course, the Zema would say we are not the one who's charging beyond 13,900, but the document attract the consultants. So this is something that I feel all Zambians should now hear the problem and why illegal miners have continued. Number one, for you just to get an artisan, the Ministry of Mines is simple. You go and pay 900 kwacha. That is for the license. But for you to mine, you need EPB, Environmental Project Brief. These villagers, some of them, they are not educated, and some of them, they are, of course, educated, and they can't write this EPB. Even myself, I can't write. It's a document that is complicated. It requires those who have experience, and the people who have experience are consultant. So it means
you charge a lot.
Yeah, you have to pay about the lowest maybe is 20,000 kwacha if you are lucky. You have to pay 40,000 to 30,000 kwacha for consultant. Mining theft, it's about 13,000 from 8.5. It depends the place if it's near 8,500 kwacha. Then council also to take you to go and see your place, you have to book maybe about 7,000 if the place is far. Now, and this person has to travel to Lusaka to come and apply the license and also EPB, accommodation, transport. So if you bring the money together, it will be about 80 to 70,000 kwacha. Sometimes up to 100. It depends the process of the license. Now, where do you expect this villager who can't even manage to buy 2 bags of fertilizer? Where do you expect this villager to get the money? This is why I'm saying we have seen this illegal mining continue because of the process. And we have said it time and again that they should simplify the document. When it comes to artisanal, you know the kind of the people that you are dealing with in the village. Why do you want to overload them with everything? We just need a form to fill in 2 pages, and they should pay less. There's no need to engage consultants when it comes to artisanal. Artisanal mining should just be a form. Somebody maybe should pay 1,000 for a form and 2,000 or 3,000 for Zema. Then this will help illegal mining to come to an end or to reduce at least 70-80%. Eventually, we will see illegal mining come to an end. And they should also decentralize the license issuance. They should put some, they should begin to give artisanal license from the provinces, not just in Lusaka. Now, when it comes to, you have talked about these Chinese and some other foreign called fake investors who are involved in
artisanal mining.
In artisanal mining.
Specifically meant for Zambians to benefit from this.
The law is very clear that artisanal license is for Zambians. But it's just that sometimes they manipulate because there's no one who's checking them. I believe soon, or very soon, we'll see the PS and we'll have some arrangements where we should begin to visit these provinces to see some activities that are going on, especially those who are doing illegal mining, foreigners who have come to steal from us and leave our country poor. There are many. Even right now, there are some provinces where they are mining. The Ministry of Mines, they don't know. We don't know. We just receive the information. Another thing is that when you receive a message, this whistleblower, when they go to the Ministry of Mines, instead of these officers to hear what this person is explaining, sometimes they don't take key interest to get the information and go and find out what is going on. So it's all about, to be vigilant and to be loyal to the people of Zambia. And each and every person have to know that you are in those offices. Those are public offices. And you have to make sure that you serve the people of Zambia. Listen to this whistleblower, what he's saying. Get the information. If you get the information, don't just keep it. Act and see what this whistleblower is saying.
So when you go to Nigeria, you find there are billionaires there involved in oil exploration, and you find that that is their main source of income as a country. When you go to Saudi Arabia, same, the millionaires are equally involved in oil, which is their national resource. And here in Zambia, national resource basically is our minerals. And we find that our own Zambians don't participate in that, or we don't reach at that level where we are able to operate a big mine, or a Zambians are able to operate on a large scale. What are there any success stories that we can point at, locally, where we can point saying, this person started from artisanal mining, moved on to small-scale mining, and subsequently and eventually moved to...
I think we have a challenge for one to move from artisanal, small-scale mining, then eventually to large-scale miner. The biggest problem is the capital injection. Capital injection, most of the people, they are struggling to just get some money to run their mines. And you must understand that mine is very complicated business. It's not like running a grocery and some supermarket or maybe a lodge. It's very different. If what you have, you invest in mining and you don't produce, then it means that you'll be stuck. And another challenge is that these miners, from artisanal to small-scale miners, they don't have where to borrow the money. In any business, you have to have a place where you can go and borrow for you to continue in business. But in our industry, the banks, they can't give us the money because they consider mining as waste asset. Because of that, we have seen that there are few who are trying to do well. And maybe you can even count. Most of the people, they are not doing well because of lack of finances. We don't have an institution where you can get the money and pay later. Even the government, they don't have that program where they can help the local ones to develop. There must be a deliberate move whereby maybe you come up with a pilot project, pick about 30 mines, buy some excavators, let's say from Itachi and Cat, then you give them soft loan in terms of diesel, money to buy diesel, and see how it works. It's from there you learn if they can bring the money back, if it can work or it cannot work. But there is no government since which have tried to do so. We are yet to see, to this new government, we cannot judge them now, but we are very much observant to see how they will approach the mining industry. Look at China. China was, some years ago, it was one of the poorest countries. You can name Bangkok. It's a country that have been going time and again. There is Vietnam. Asian countries, most of them, they were very poor 30, 40 years ago. but you can see how China have become superpower in terms of economically. They are doing fine because Chinese government decided to invest in their own people. The people that are coming now to Africa, they are not American. They are the Chinese guys who have been empowered because now they have money. They can come to Zambia to do whatever they are doing. I think each and every person will see what they are doing. But the government of China, they invested in their own people. And today we can see how their economy is boosting. Now, when you look at here in Zambia, we have great natural resources. Why is it that it's so difficult for our government just to come up with the program to help those who are in mining financially and see how it goes? They should learn to invest in their own people. You see, we should stay away from expecting every time clients from overseas investors to come and invest in our country. Why can't we begin to try helping our people, teaching them how they can do it? Me as a president now, I don't accept this workshop where they take you to go and have a cup of tea, capacity building. We have been having this capacity building for 30 years. 30 years capacity building. What kind of capacity building? Any building should come to an end. At least you are taught. Now, theory you are taught. Now they should teach you how to make money. They have been teaching you how to manage your business. Yes, we know how to manage our business, but we still don't have money. If they can be now, okay, we have taught you how to manage your business. Here is now machinery, but it's not there. We are urging the government of today, instead of expecting these investors. And when you look at the policy, I thank God for the Minister of Mines who are trying to change some of the policies, and those great people in those offices and some other people who are talking about changing the policy. How can you be subjected to 10% and 20%? Your mine is yours. You give this investor, he manipulates you, give you 10%, and 90% will go out, remain poor. We want a policy that should give us at least a big check. We need a big stake. We want not less than 45% for a Zambian. An investor should get 55. A Zambian, at least the lowest should be 45. Why 45? Because we want the money to remain in the country. And the money should be circulating in the country. In all, we are saying the government should begin to think of investing in the local people. If FAS can do it, look at FAS. They are paying for the coach almost every month. I mean, the Ministry of Sports, they are paying for the coach almost every month. They are contributing some funds. And they have been doing that for many, many years. Why is it so difficult that even our Ministry of Mines can't even buy 2 excavators for 2 mines just to try? We are saying it is time to invest in our country.
Speaking of funding, we know there are initiatives like the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, where citizens are mostly encouraged to invest in agriculture. And I feel personally that the mining sector is neglected in that area, where they would actually save a portion of that funding for mining project. Maybe I stand to be corrected. Is that included? Because all I hear is fish farming, agricultural initiatives and so on. Is there a portion of that fund that is reserved for mining ventures for our locals?
I would like to believe that even the mining sector, it is included, although I've not seen anyone from our industry getting money from there. I think I need to learn more let me not to talk about something that I don't know. I've heard about that, and some few people they have said, yeah, there are some complication in terms of documents. I don't have a geological report, so such. So I think I cannot comment much because I do not know exactly the procedure and how to take the money from the citizen economical empowerment. And I've not heard anybody getting the money from there. I would like to consult and to learn one or two things. Maybe next time I'll come back here by the special grace of God. Maybe I'll come and unveil. But for now, I think.
So what is your take on the mining in the Lower Zambezi? Your personal view around that.
It's a hot issue. I think what I've learned is that for one to mine there, you have to. The Ministry of Mines, they have no problem to give you a license, but you have to satisfy the ZEMA and the national parks and wildlife services. If you have the right documents or maybe you have fulfilled what the requirements, then you can maybe have a chance to mine there. But at the moment, I've not seen people who have started mining. Although I have some information, just a hearsay from hearing from people what they are saying, that there are few who have started mining. I don't know exactly because I've never been there. I've not visited those places to see if it is true. But what I know in all is that you have to get license from the Ministry of Mines. Always Ministry of Mines, they have no problem to give you the license. Then from there you go to ZEMA to get EPB. Then from there I'm sure you have to go to national parks and the wildlife services. Once you satisfy what they want, then you can be allowed to mine. I think that's a little knowledge that I have, but I would like to learn more.
So do you think the mining should commence or not?
You look at the potential of the mines which are there. If, let's say, because I've heard that there are diamonds there. Mm-hmm. There are diamonds there. If diamonds in that place, why not give a miner to mine diamonds, which has more money than even those animals? Of course, one would say you are going to destroy the environment. But if you have something that is worth in certain place and economically you are struggling, why can't you get what you feel this is worth and come and boost your economy? So it depends what is there. If it's true what people they are saying, they are diamonds and rich copper, I think it's good to allow them to begin to work. In other countries, they would create an environment where they push the animals to another place and they allow the miners to go on. But I don't know the setup that the government of today have concerning that. Maybe the Ministry of Mines can explain better. But for me, I feel that if that place has diamond and the rich copper mine, it's better they allow miners, those who can manage, even the government themselves, to start mining.
So as we close, I'm sure there are viewers who are asking the process of registering a mine or becoming an artisanal miner or a small-scale miner. Can you just summarize the process for those who have a bit of money, who can afford the process? Where are they supposed to start from?
Well, I think what you are supposed to do is that when you find a place which you suspect that it has some in-laws, you take an officer from the Ministry of Mines. I think it comes with a cost. You go to a place they'll get some coordinates. Then later on, you have to also get a pegging certificate. So it means the Ministry of Mines officers they have to visit your mine to get some coordinates, and later on they'll give you a pegging certificate. Before that, maybe after you have some coordinates, then you have to apply for the license. Before it was that you have to go to ZEMA, they give you a PB. That's when you apply to the license from the Ministry of Mines. Then the Ministry of Mines, they have the committee. The committee will go through and see what you have submitted. If what you have submitted, it satisfies them, then they will give you a license. But we felt that why should I start with ZEMA before I even know if the license will be given or not? We feel that ZEMA should not be above the Ministry of Mines. The Ministry of Mines, it's a different department from ZEMA. So when someone is applying for the license, should start from Ministry of Mines, of course with the condition that once we give you the license, then you can apply the ZEMA. I think that is a simple arrangement that I know, and I believe that's how it is.
You've been watching the Economic Briefcase right here on Cabinet TV. Make sure to join us for another interesting edition next week. I've been your host, Noah Njapao. Pleasant evening.